Hey everyone, this is GCB with On the Brink Games to give you a deck tech, a modern deck tech, with Amulet Bloom combo. So, I think I got this list from a buddy of mine, Cy Cook, the Cook Master. He's always whipping something up in the kitchen, actually. But I think this list is from the Pro Tour from a while ago, so I'm just going to go over it really fast for the video's sake, because I'm going to take this through a daily event. So I'll start over at the 1-drops. It has 4 Serum Visions. This is a combo deck, and Serum Visions is pretty much the best 1-drop cantrip you can play in Modern, because they've neutered everything else. So you can't play Ponder, you can't play Brainstorm, you can't play Preordain, so we're stuck with Serum Visions, which is fine. Serum Visions is fine. You draw a blind card and you get to scry your next 2 draws. So Serum Visions is a pretty decent card. Everyone likes it. I like this art. The new art is disgusting. It looks like Bukkake. So don't Google that, by the way. Do not Google that. You'll be sad, I'm sure. You'll be sad after. And then let's go over to the packs. Actually, I'll talk about Hive Mind before I talk about the packs, because they go together perfectly. So, Hive Mind reads, whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, each other player copies that spell. Each of those players may choose new targets for his or her copy. So, a very big part of this deck is casting Hive Mind, and then casting packs after you resolve a Hive Mind. So say I cast Hive Mind and then I go ahead and go Summoner's Pact into, and then if my opponent doesn't have any green mana, my opponent has to copy the Summoner's Pact and they have to pay the 4, the 2, and 2 green in their upkeep. And if they're not playing green, they obviously can't pay it, and they automatically lose the game. So it's pretty much just like win on the spot. For the most part, when you Hive Mind someone, you really want to have 2 packs in your hand. So pretty much what you want to do, you want to go Summoner's Pact into Pact of Negation, my Summoner's Pact, and then that makes them also copy the Summoner's Pact, which they still have to pay for it, and then they have to pay for the Pact of Negation. And most people can't pay for 9 mana on turn 2 or 3, which this deck can win on 2 or 3 with Hive Mind and with Amulet and stuff. So, also Slaughter Pact. There's only 1 in the deck because Slaughter Pact, you need a target for it. So, I mean, sometimes you don't have any creatures and you really want to win the game. So there's only 1 Slaughter Pact, and it's also just good. You can kill like creatures and still pay for it on your turn if need be, because that 1 turn of like whatever 4 damage from a Goyf or something can pretty much win you the game possibly. So that's why there's only 1 Slaughter Pact and 4 Summoner's Pact. Also, Summoner's Pact is very good for in this deck because you can pay for it easily, and you can seek out your Primeval Titans Azuzas to win the game. So I've gone over the packs. Let's move these over here. Simian Spirit Guides. This card is interesting. I think I'll play with it in this daily event, but I think there's better cards than Simian Spirit Guide. I mean, it can ramp you up. Say you're missing 1 land, it can ramp you up to play like a Primeval Titan or a Hive Mind early. But I don't think it's needed. I think it's too much. I don't think you need it. So I think you can easily play something else to find something better, find combo pieces, not something that ramps you to your combo pieces. Because you need to find your combo pieces to win. You can't, if you just have a bunch of ramp but no combo pieces, you're not going to win the game. So Simian Spirit Guide seems very underwhelming to me, but I could be wrong. I've never really played this deck before, so I'm going to play it through this daily event and see how it goes. And then I'll probably make changes after that. Let's see, there's 2 Explorers here. Explorers is a great card. I mean, you get to play 2 mana, you get to play an additional land, and you draw a card with a card that's in this deck called Amulet of Vigor, which, if I can pull it up here, Amulet of Vigor, this can kind of make you combo off if you explore. So this Amulet of Vigor reads, whenever your opponent enters the battlefield, tapped and under your control, untap it. So I can go ahead and just tap Golgari Art Farm and cast Explore. Say I haven't played a land yet, and I also have an Amulet of Vigor on the battlefield. Well, that means I can go ahead and cast a Simic Growth Chamber, right? For my first land drop. So I cast it, Simic Growth Chamber. And then when it enters the battlefield, if I stack my triggers correctly, where I want the untap trigger before the bounce trigger, so I want the untap trigger of Amulet of Vigor to happen before the bounce trigger from the Karoo land of Simic Growth Chamber. So if that happens, it will go ahead and untap my land. And then in response to the bounce trigger, I will tap my land, and then I can then bounce either the Golgari Art Farm or the Simic Growth Chamber, or maybe the island I have on my battlefield. And then I can also go ahead, since I cast Explore, I can go ahead and play another land, and repeat that process with the Amulet of Vigor and the Karoo land and the bounce triggers. So Explore can really be explosive and ramp me to pretty much a lot of mana early and win the game. And that's the same thing with Summer Bloom. The reason why I have I clicked on Ad Nauseam on accident. Let me go back to Amulet. The reason why I have, just move these over here, and I'll move my Summer Blooms up here. So Summer Bloom reads, and the reason why there's a bunch of Summer Blooms is because Summer Bloom reads, you may play up to 3 additional lands this turn. So if I go turn 1 Forest into a Amulet of Vigor, right? So turn 1 Amulet of Vigor. Turn 2, let's go Golgari Rock. Let's go Simic Growth Chamber. I go Simic Growth Chamber. Play it. I have 6 lands on turn 2. I can then play a Hive Mind. On turn 2, I can play a Hive Mind. If I have Amulet of Vigor into Summer Bloom into a Karoo land into Hive Mind. And at that same turn 2, I can cast a Summoner's Pact and or a Slaughter Pact and or a Pact of Negation, and if my opponent can't usually pay for that much mana on their turn 2, so that's a turn 2 win right there. So that's why there's 4 Summer Blooms in the deck, because it leads to very unfair just decks. And I can also Primeval Titan, so let me just get rid of Summer Bloom here. So also on turn 2, if I don't have a Hive Mind, I can Primeval Titan. So let me just move this cards over here. So if I Summer Bloom on turn 2 with Amulet of Vigor out, I can Primeval Titan on turn 2, and then I can also get, let's see, I can get a Boros Garrison, and let's scroll down, and a Slayer Stronghold. So say I Primeval Evil Titan on turn 2, I can get these 2 cards. If I have an Amulet of Vigor out, I can untap these 2 cards. So if I untap both of them, then I can activate Slayer Stronghold, giving my Primeval Titan haste. If I give my Primeval Titan haste on turn 2 with +2, so it's a Vigilance haste 8/6 attacking, which I can then activate my Primeval Titan ability again, which makes me search my library for 2 lands and put them into play tapped. But Amulet of Vigor untaps them, and that also just leads to very unfair things. So I'm pretty much going over just combo pieces of this deck. I kind of just went over why Primeval Titan's in the deck and why I have certain lands in the deck. So I have the pretty much just weird ones: Slayer Stronghold, a Sun Home. Let's see, is there anything else? I have a Suva. So Tolaria West I can go over. Let's see, Radiant Fountain and Colonial Garden. Colony Garden or something. So let's get these Summoners Packs out of the way, Explorers out of the way. Also, let me just, before I go over these lands, I'll go over this creature, Azuzu, Lost But Seeking. Azuzu Lost But Seeking is a 3-drop that allows me to play 2 additional lands each turn. It's kind of just a 6th Summer Bloom effect, The reason why I don't run 4 Azuzas and 4 Summer Blooms is because Azusa is a creature, so it's more vulnerable to removal spells, and also Azusa is a turn later than Summer Bloom, so it's a slower card, and also it's a legendary card, so it can have multiples out. And you can't go Azusa into another Azusa and have the ability work. So also you can't just combo off and say I want to play 6 lands in one turn. You can't do that with 2 Azuzas, which you can with 2 Summer Blooms actually. So I mean, I don't think you ever will need to do that, but you can do it. And so Azusa is a 2 of. It's a good card. I haven't played this deck a lot, but I think it's a very good card, and I think it's what should always stay a 2 of in the deck. Alright, and so let's go over some cards that you can get with Primeval Titan, some lands you can get with Primeval Titan to make him unfair. I've already gone over the Slayer Stronghold interaction with Primeval Titan, so I'm going to put that one over to the side here. So if you Primeval Titan here, and you are playing against a Jund deck or something that's playing Liliana or Sac effects, you can go ahead and get a Colonial Garden, and that will give you a Sprite token, a green plant token, a 0/1, which you can sack to that effect instead of having to sack your Primeval Titan. You can also get Colonial Garden if your opponent has a large army and you just need to soak up some damage from a large creature for a turn before you go ahead and combo off or just win with damage. So Colonial Garden is one of those that you can just go ahead and get depending on the situation. Radiant Fountain, it gains you 2 life. This is a common card that Wizards of the Coast printed as a counterspell against red decks. It's literally a counterspell on a land, which is pretty crazy. So that's a very good one. And you can also get Vesuva. Let me just bring Vesuva up, because Vesuva is one that you can get and copy this Radiant Fountain if you're playing against an aggressive or a red deck that's trying to steal all your life points with burn spells. So those are 2 ones that are very good. Here's a Sunhome, Fortress of the Legion. This card for 4 mana gives a creature double strike. This is what you will be searching for if you have enough lands to go ahead and Slayer Stronghold, and then your Primeval Titan, after you search it up, initially when you play it, to give it haste, and then after you give it haste, if you have enough mana, so only 2 extra mana, you can go ahead and search up Sunhome and a red and or white land to go ahead and give it double strike, and that's lethal right there if your opponent's taking any damage, pretty much. So you're going to be doing 16 damage possibly on turn 3, which is insane. This Sunhome leads to very unfair board states. So and then we'll go to Tolaria West. Tolaria West lets you transmute, so you can go ahead and transmute for 2 blue and 1 colorless. That's why you have a lot of Simic Growth Chambers in comparison to other cards, because you need double blue for to transmute, which will get you one of your Karoo lands and or a Summoner's Pact or Pact of Negation or a Slaughter Pact to combo off with Hive Mind. And so those are all the cards in the deck that you are going to be playing with, or I'm going to be playing with in this daily event. Let's go over to the sideboard really fast and look at that. So this sideboard I think may be a little outdated. The new cards have come out since then, but like I said, I got this deck list from my friend and I haven't made any changes to it yet. Before I make changes, I'm going to take it through a daily event and see what I really need. So let's start here. 3 Line of Sanctities. This is for burn decks and decks that target my hand with hand disruption, Jund, green black, anything with Thoughtseize, Inquisition, etc. And burn spells kind of stops those in its track. Swan Song. This is for against control decks when I'm trying to combo off. It counters their counter spells, and also this is a very good card against Splinter Twin because it counters enchantments. So if Splinter Twin's trying to go off, they maybe are not expecting a Swan Song. Pyroclasm. This is for any aggressive deck with creatures that have only 2 toughness. So this would be good against Affinity and Fish, and maybe Soul Sisters, and any white decks, mono white decks, Death and Taxes, etc. Decks like that. It's probably not good against Zoo, because Zoo has almost all 3 3s and 4 4s. So maybe not against Zoo, but any other aggressive deck, Pyroclasm is great against. Nature's Claim, you can bring this in against Twin, you can bring it against Affinity, you can bring it against a lot of decks that either run it, or Boggles also. In response to a Daybreak Cornet, you can go ahead and kill the only enchantment left on it, and then the Daybreak Cornet goes to the graveyard. So, I mean, Nature's Claim, it's kind of it's a one of, and I think it's a very good one of, and I think it's good in the sideboard. Sigarda, this deck is against this card is for Jund, any green black junk decks, anything plain Liliana, etc. Pretty much it's a 5/5 flying hexproof, so pretty much a huge beat stick, and it's only for 5 mana, and also anything that would make me sacrifice is nullified. I can't sacrifice permanents. So Liliana Ultimate, nope, doesn't matter. Liliana Minus, nope, doesn't matter. So that's a great card. Ghost Order, I think this card is good against Infect. I think it's good against Tron also. You can break up a Tron piece with this card. I mean, Ghost Order is a one of that you can search up with Primeval Titan after board. So I think it's a very good card and can very much, it's just very good. So let's go over to here. So I guess I'll go over the Seals of Primordial. This card's good against Boggles, it's good against Affinity, it's good against Twin, it's good against a lot of decks. It's a 2 mana, so pretty much in my deck, only tapping 1 mana usually always produces 2 mana. So I can just go ahead and tap it, play it out, and opponents don't really have anything to answer enchantments, so it kind of sits on the battlefield until I need it. And it avoids hand disruption. So Seal is a very good card. I like it a lot. But we'll see. I could see myself cutting one or something. I can actually, the only card I can really see myself cutting is Swansong. Actually, I don't know how good that card is. Thragtusk, this card, if you played in the standard format where this was legal, or should I say type 2 format where this was legal, this was the bane of your existence if you were not the one playing it. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 5 life, and when it leaves the battlefield, you put a 3/3 into play. This card is just saying F you to all aggro. Like, oh, you're playing aggro? Okay, cool, I'll play Thragtusk. Oh, you thought you were going to win this game? Well, I'm sorry. Maybe the next one, where I don't have a Thragtusk. Thragtusk is very good. I can Summoner's Pact for it, and I can also play it very early for a 5-drop. This deck can be very explosive, and this on turn 2 or 3 against a very aggressive deck can be very much lights out. KO, night, go to sleep. So Thragtusk is very good. I like it a lot, so I'm going to keep that. And so, yeah, that's the deck tech for Amulet Bloom. So if there's an updated list that you'd want me to see me play, maybe go ahead and email me at onthebrinkgamesinfo@gmail.com, or go ahead and comment in the description below and give me a list for an updated for Amulet Bloom. Like I said, I'm going to play this. The following videos are going to be me playing this list in a daily event. But after the daily event, after you watch it, please subscribe. And if you want to see me play a different list, Amulet Bloom list, please let me know. Because it's modern season, and I really want to qualify for the regional PTQ so I can get on the Pro Tour and, you know, go platinum. Because that's what we're here for. We're trying to take your game from on the brink to the next level. So, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the daily event coming up.